Expo in the Huntington Convention Center of Cleveland. I'm Scott Sullivan from Michigan Runner. Carter Sherline is our videographer. Art McCafferty, Jenny McCafferty, and Gary Morgan from our crew will be on board to cover various aspects of this great event. A lot going on tonight in Cleveland. It looks like we're going to have some dry weather for tomorrow, maybe even warm, but there's always the chance of some showers. So if you're a marathoner, you're used to it. And if you're a videographer here in Cleveland, you are also used to it. LeBron James is playing tonight in town. He won't be popping in for a cameo tonight, unfortunately. He is otherwise occupied. But we're very excited to be here. The Rite Aid Cleveland Marathon is a great event for the community, and there's going to be thousands and thousands of people here having the times of their lives. So let's go downstairs and meet some of the people. I'm with Asia Haddox, Cleveland District Manager for Rite Aid Pharmacies, the 16-year sponsor of the Cleveland Marathon, half marathon and assorted events. And Asia, this is your 5th year here at the race. How's your experience been?
Oh, I love being around people. I'm very, very passionate about the Cleveland Marathon. We enjoy basically providing samples to all the runners and making sure that they're going to be taken care of for the 5K, the 10K, the half, and the full. So.
Why would a drugstore, and I can think of a lot of reasons, but probably you're better off to express it, why would a drugstore company, a nationwide chain, very well known obviously, be interested in sponsoring a marathon and staying with it for so long?
Because, as you know, Rite Aid is definitely a leader and a provider in health and wellness throughout the company, or throughout the nation, actually. So we've been having a partnership with Jack Staff for quite many years. And Jack Staff also has a background in drugstore industry. So that partnership was developed a long time ago.
All right. Well, we see behind us a message board. In fact, we see a woman, probably a runner tomorrow, leaving a message on here. A lot of people are leaving messages telling life stories with their races. This is something they've trained for a long time. Maybe they've used Rite Aid products to help them with their training, to help them with their fitness. But we're going to see a lot of stories lived out, a lot of dreams, a lot of people struggling because a marathon is a test.
Yes.
But how many people do you anticipate here this year? It looks like we'll have a little nicer weather, which might help.
Oh my gosh, I would say that there were at least about 5,000 people that we've seen so far, and maybe a few more that'll come through in the evening too.
And that's just coming through the booth tonight, right?
Correct.
I mean, in the race tomorrow, we're going to have maybe, 15,000?
Yes, I would imagine it's going to be in the upwards of the 15 to 20.
All right.
So.
Well, what brings you back? You must enjoy this. I mean, obviously it's a job, but it's kind of a personal passion, or it's a special occasion.
Sure. I'm very passionate about the company that I work for. I'm very proud of them, and I also enjoy making sure that people, especially ones that have the drive and perseverance, are taken care of, and that's what Rite Aid can provide for them.
How many Rite Aid stores are there nationwide, worldwide? You have a number offhand?
We have about 2,700 throughout the company, throughout nationwide right now.
All right. Well, amazing chain. You'll find a Rite Aid probably in our viewership area, not far from where you live. You'll get good deals, good products, and a great corporate sponsor of the Cleveland Marathon. Asia, thanks for taking time with us.
I appreciate your time. Thank you, guys.
We have an interesting juxtaposition here. As you can see, this says Michigan Runner on my shirt. We're talking with Darius Blackford, who is the race director of the Columbus Marathon. You go by the Horseshoe, Woody Hayes Drive, and actually it's a magnificent marathon. I've been lucky enough to be at it, and this will be they started in 1980, so you're closing in on 40 years.
Yeah, this is the 39th year. We love people from Michigan. There's always the good ribbing back and forth, the OHIO. And,
of course.
But honestly, we are the same day as the Detroit Marathon, and which is good and bad for both of us because we draw from each other's states and our regions. But we feel very blessed. This will be our 39th year, and we do put on a great race. We have a partnership with Nationwide Children's Hospital, and we profile a child from the hospital at every single mile, which really works for a lot of the athletes in terms of motivating. We get a lot of first-timers, and they need anything they can get. So when they're out there and they see those kids, they realize the struggles that they're facing on that mile or in that part of the race is nothing compared to those kids. So it really helps them. But we're also just very, very fortunate to have a long legacy of a great race. We've had a lot of wonderful athletes over the years. The history goes back with, we even hosted the Olympic trials back in 1992, so it's a good running town.
It's a great running town. It's a university town. It's a capital city. It's a bustling city. And it's a pretty course.
Yeah, I mean, the fall in the Midwest is great. We get all the leaves are changing, everything like that. And it's a wonderful opportunity to showcase some of the great neighborhoods. The spectators really come out for this one. And with so many athletes and with the half marathon, the full marathon sharing the same course for the first 12 and a half miles, it's just a lot of energy.
This year's date again?
October 21st, same as Detroit, but
Yep.
we love sharing those runners. Pick us one year, go up to Detroit the next year.
Absolutely.
We're all in it together.
Absolutely. Do you have a website for people might be able to pick up more information?
Sure, columbusmarathon.com.
That's easy.
If you want to send a note, info@columbusmarathon.com comes right to me. I answer all those emails, and I'm the race director. It's my ninth year as the director, so I know the event pretty darn well.
Big city, big event, personal touch. That's what makes it special.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Darius. Gary Morgan is a PACE team member here at the 41st Annual Rite Aid Cleveland Marathon. You've done this before. What is your role here tomorrow?
Well, I'll be pacing the 3-hour half marathoners, kind of a run-walk group, 13:44 a mile. I've done this race a couple of times just as a runner. I've done the half marathon open a couple times just for fun. So to come back and pace is kind of cool. Haven't been here in a few years, and it's always fun to pace. And once again, now there's so many people who don't have a lot of time to train. So 3 hours has become a very common time for people to just kind of run-walk a half marathon.
What's the range of paces here, do you know?
I think at least for the half, we're probably starting at sub 130 and going up to, well, I think I'm the last half marathon pacer. Then in the marathon, we're going from 3 hours to maybe 6 hours or 5 hours, somewhere in that range. And they usually range around every 15 minutes.
All right, well, these are these are doable paces for the kind of athletes who do pace team. And it also gives you a chance to carry the signs on the sticks and to talk with and coach some of the runners.
Oh, for sure. You hear plenty of stories, especially where I'm at, of people doing their first half marathon or their first few of them, or they're older now and said, I haven't done a race in a long time. I just kind of want to finish. Or they're back here to do a race in their city to say, hey, I want to experience this. I haven't done it in a long time, or I've never experienced it. And they're not fast, but they just want to be part of it and get some physical fitness in, some exercise for the day, and to see their own city.
It's all good. Gary Morgan, PACE team member, half marathon for the 41st Annual Rite Aid Cleveland Marathon and Half Marathon. Scott Sullivan from Michigan Runner. Thank you, Gary.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Was that tight enough? All right, it's a pleasure to be with Amy Kentner, co-race director of A Christmas Story, 5K and 10K race in Cleveland, typically around Christmas time, and this is a one-of-a-kind event.
It definitely is. This is actually our 6th year, and every year we feature a different part of the movie. And this is the year of the Bumpus Hounds, the actual dogs that eat the turkey on Christmas Day from the old man.
All right, and you are going to have dogs run in the race.
Yes, this will be the first year that we do allow dogs. We're going to have up to 800 dogs. We're going to waive the whole race, and it's just going to be a great time.
Do you have poop scoops or some sort of requirements like that?
We sure do. We've actually been working with the APL and the City of Cleveland and the City Dog Warden.
Excellent, excellent. I've run many, many miles with my dogs, and it's a real treat. You can't have a better friend. But dogs don't always get along that well with each other.
That they don't, and if that's the case, there's a dog like that, then this is not the race for them. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So this is the first time for that. How many people do we expect? What's the date this year?
So the date is
December 1st?
Yes, December 1st. So it's early this year.
So it'll still be balmy and warm.
Of course.
And if it does snow, well, so much the better. It's like Christmas.
Yes, it would be nice if there was a few flurries.
So the theme is to sort of base it each year on the movie, but to sort of focus on a different segment of the classic.
That is correct, and it really is all about the movie. We start downtown where Higbee's was, so we start right near the Jack Casino, and then we run all over to the Christmas Story house. So the actual finish is Ralphie's mailbox.
Oh, man, perfect. Well, hey, if I want to sign up or find out more about the run, do you have a website or a contact?
Yes, it's www.achristmasstoryrun.com.
That sounds easy.
You ready? Yes.
Hi, I'm Jenny McCafferty for the Rite Aid Cleveland Marathon, and we're here at the beautiful Hyatt Arcade with Patrice, who's the race director for the Pittsburg Marathon. And what a great marathon you have. Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, thank you. Well, we've been in business now for 10 years. We are a comeback race, so Dick's Sporting Goods, it's now the Dick's Sporting Goods Pittsburgh Marathon. And we just ran our 10th, and we had the U.S. National Half Marathon Championship. So we were really thrilled, and we are so much more thrilled now that it's done.
Well, it's a huge difference putting on a national championship, isn't it?
It is. It's a lot of detail, a lot of planning goes into it, and then just knowing what to do on race day and making sure that everything is perfect, because so many athletes are coming in and hoping to be the next bright star in the U.S.
And for those of us who are in the back of the pack, it's fun to be able to run with the people who are the superstars.
Absolutely. My favorite are 4 and 5 and 6 hour marathoners, because they have the true stories. So we love to go out at the finish line and look at and watch the people and cheer for the people that are coming in, because they all have great stories, amazing stories, and they really are doing something that they never thought they could do, and they're accomplishing their dream, they're accomplishing their goal, and we're so happy to be part of that.
You know, when we think about Pittsburgh, we think about hills. Can you tell folks a little bit about the course?
Well, we try to keep everybody as close as possible to the river, so that there are as little hills as possible. However, when you go over bridges, there are really hidden hills. So there are some hills, but after you get past the Birmingham Bridge, you know, and you plateau up at the top, it's really just downhill in the last couple of miles. And that is really a really good redeemer for us.
Downhill's really fun at the end.
Yes, yes, exactly.
So tell folks how they can find out more about the Pittsburgh Marathon.
So you can go to the pittsburghmarathon.com, and they can look at what we're doing, and they can look at what we're doing for next year. And at this time, we're accepting registrations for next year through the mega ticket. If they want to do a mile, a 10-miler, and the marathon or half or the relay, they can do that now at a special rate. But it's not going to last.
Not going to last?
It's not going to last, so you need to get online right now and register.
Sounds like a good plan to make ahead of time. Thank you, Patrice.
Thank you.